ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नम ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामीति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नामिने गौरतुषे नमः। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिका कान्ता राधा कान्त नमस्तुते तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये नाक्षकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। We're studying chapter 1 of Bhagavad-gita. Namostu te vyasa vishala buddhe Pullarvindayata patra netre Yena tvaya bharata tailapurna Prajvalito jnanamaya pradeepaha Prapanna parijataya putra vetraikapanaye Jnanamudraya krishnaya Gita-mrita duhe namaha. So, quick revision from yesterday. Some points, quick points. Before we begin this last section of chapter 1, verse 28 to 46, Arjuna's reasons for not fighting or for desiring not to fight. So, what we discussed yesterday. Vision of a devotee versus vision of non-devotees. Very good point. Thank you. Usha Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam. Arjun, though Lord Krishna had put him in illusion, but actually he can never fall in illusion because he's a pure devotee of Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Very good. Thank you. Yes. Signs of confirmation for the victory of Pandavas. Very good. And
various flags.
Various flags. Yes. And what else? Come on. The class was yesterday.
Bhakta-vatsalta.
Bhakta-vatsalta of Krishna. That's why Arjuna said him as Achyuta.
Achyuta. Yeah. Infallible.
What are the three meanings of the word Achyuta, which we showed on the slide? Three meanings. Anyone?
Bhaktavasala, Bhagavat,
And
Satyavata.
Satyata. Yeah. So the Lord does not fall from his position as Bhaktavatsala, as Satya, as
Satya. Bhagavata.
Yeah, Bhagavata. Okay, very good. Who is on the flag of Duryodhana? We ask this question.
Cobra.
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 Snake.
Cobra.
Black cobras.
Who is on the flag of Bhimasen?
Lion.
Lion. Okay, very good. Very nice. Krishna is addressed by the name Madhava. What does Madhav mean?
Husband of
goddess
fortune.
of fortune.
Husband of goddess of fortune. Okay. Because Krishna is directly controlling the senses of Arjuna, Krishna has a special name addressed as, what is that?
Rishikesha.
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 Okay, very good. Arjuna is also known as conqueror of sleep, therefore his name is
Gudakesha. Gudakesha. Gudakesha.
Name the two uncles of Arjuna who are mentioned to be on the battlefield. Uncles.
Shalya
Shalya and
and Shakuni.
Okay, very good. So now Arjuna is overwhelmed by compassion and he has decided, or he is going to decide not to fight. So we are going to start from that verse number 28 of this chapter. Verse number 28. Arjuna uvacha drishtvaimam swajanam Krishna yuyutsum samupasthitam sidanti mama gatrani mukham cha parishusyati. Arjuna said, my dear Krishna, seeing my friends and relatives present before me in such a fighting spirit, I feel the limbs of my body quivering and my mouth drying up. Swajana means my own people. Because they are so eager to fight with each other and kill each other, I'm shaking. I feel the limbs of my body are quivering and my mouth is drying up. These are symptoms of fear, right? So Arjuna is saying that. So here you see the word used is kripaya paraya vishtaha tan samikshya kaunteya, the previous verse. When Arjuna saw his own relatives, kripaya means compassion, and paraya means of a higher grade. So Arjuna became overwhelmed by a compassion of a higher grade. Now, Prabhupada, that's why he glorifies Arjuna's compassion here. But right after a few verses, he'll also condemn Arjuna's compassion, calling it as material compassion. Fine. So you can just make a note of these 5 reasons that Arjuna gives not to fight and how Krishna refutes them in which verses. First is compassion, verse 28 to 30. Second is enjoyment, 31 to 35. Fear of sinful reactions, 36 to 38. Destruction of family, 37 to 43. And indecision, 2.6. And these are the verses where counter explanation is given by Krishna. Okay. So what are these reasons? First is compassion. Arjuna has deep compassion for those whom he is about to kill. He doesn't want to kill them. So that is one. Fine. Why this compassion exists? Because he thinks that they are his family members. Therefore, this compassion is there. If his enemies were present on the battlefield who were not his family members, will this compassion come? No, it will not come. So this compassion has come because they are his family members, his relatives, right? Second, enjoyment. Now, this is a less noble reason. Arjuna is saying, if I fight, even if I win, I'll not be happy. So why should I fight? So it's like more of a selfish thought. Should I fight or not? If I fight, I may win. And if I win, still I'll not be happy. So why should I fight? So why is he thinking that I'll not be happy? Because he's thinking that if I fight and I win, everyone else with whom I'll be enjoying that happiness will die. So how will I be happy? You share happiness with your friends, relatives. If they all get finished, then how are you going to be happy? Right? Then the third is fear of sinful reaction. He's thinking that the happiness may come at the cost of so much of sin, killing your own family members, killing your gurus. So that fear is there that now I may enjoy, but in future lives I'll have to suffer in hell. So why should I fight? Right? The next is destruction of dynasty. He's thinking that so many Kshatriya kings will get killed, because of which so many kingdoms will lose protectors, administrators, masters. And because of that, there'll be chaos in the kingdoms. There'll be thieves, there'll be criminals, corrupted and unscrupulous men will prevail. And that will bring about so much of irreligion in society. So that's why this is not good. Actually, wars are never good. Wars cause so much of destruction in society, right? Isn't it? Cultural destruction is there, economical destruction is there, ecological destruction is there. So Arjuna is thinking that destruction of family will degrade everything. So that is not there. And finally, indecision. Indecision means he's not able to decide whether it's going to give good result or bad result. So why fight? Arjuna was thinking, after all, Duryodhana is not such a bad ruler. He is keeping the citizens happy. Under his kingship, the kingdom is flourishing as well. So, if everything is going good, why should he be replaced with Yudhishthir? Why? Just because they want to become the kings? But for them to become the kings, if millions of families are going to be affected by the war, why fight? So, he is not able to decide whether this battle should happen or better not fight. So indecision is there. Now counter explanation will be given by Lord Krishna in various verses. We'll see that one by one later on. This is just a chart for you, table for you to know what is the argument, where it is, and what is the counter explanation given, where, in which verse. Fine. So first is compassion. Arjuna was overwhelmed with compassion. Prabhupada tells in one lecture, why Arjuna? Why not Duryodhana feeling such compassion? Why Arjuna is feeling such compassion? Why not Duryodhana?
It's a quality of pure devotees.
Because Arjuna is a devotee. That's why he's feeling compassion. Devotees are ready to excuse their enemies. So he's feeling compassion over his own enemy. But Duryodhana cannot feel such compassion because Duryodhana is not a devotee, right? So in this verse, the purport Prabhupada is going to glorify Arjuna's quality as a good devotee. Fine. But then, as I mentioned yesterday, maybe one or two verses later, Prabhupada is going to again condemn this quality and say this is material quality. Now you may ask how and why. Because in one point, he's taking Arjuna as a pure devotee. Another point, he's taking Arjuna as a conditioned soul to give us instructions. Fine? Okay, so let's read Shamala Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Guru. Purport given by Srila Prabhupada. Any man who has genuine devotion to the Lord has all the good qualities which are found in godly persons or in the demigods. Whereas the non-devotee, however advanced he may be in material qualifications by education and culture, lacks in godly qualities as such. Arjuna, just after seeing his kinsmen, friends and relatives on the battlefield, was at once overwhelmed by compassion for them who had so decided to fight amongst themselves. As far as his soldiers were concerned, he was sympathetic from the beginning, but he felt compassion even for the soldiers of the opposite party, foreseeing their imminent death. And while he was so thinking, the limbs of his body began to quiver,
Quiver, quiver,
quiver,
quiver,
and
quiver.
quiver,
Hmm.
and his mouth became dry. He was more or less astonished to see their fighting spirit. Practically, the whole community, all blood relatives of Arjuna, had come to fight with him. This overwhelmed a kind devotee like Arjuna, although it is not mentioned here. Still, one can easily imagine that not only were Arjuna's bodily limbs quivering and his mouth drying up, but he was also crying out of compassion. Such symptoms in Arjuna were not due to weakness, but to his soft heartedness. Soft heartedness, a characteristic of a pure devotee of the Lord. It is said, therefore, yes, yes, yes,
यस्यास्ति भक्तिर्भगवत्य किञ्चना सर्वैर्गुणैस्तत्र समासते सुरा हरावभक्तस्य कुतो महद्गुणा मनोरथेनासति धावतो बहिः. Yes, continue.
one who has unflinching devotion of the personality of Godhead has all the good qualities of the demigods. But one who is not a devotee of the Lord has only material qualifications that are of little value. This is because he is hovering on the material plane and is certain to be attracted by the glaring material energy. Bhagavatam 5.18.12. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. So here Prabhupada says that all the good qualities that we see in Arjuna is because of his devotion to Krishna. Devotional service or bhakti gives birth to good qualities of a demigod in the personality of the practicing or perfect devotee. Whereas those who are not devotees, they may be good. But what is their goodness? It is conditional. It is situational. If the situation is going to change, then they'll become bad. You know? Have you not heard this statement? Everyone is born good. Life makes them bad. So this is why, because conditions so. Everyone is born good, but life makes them bad. Situations make them bad. So that is situational goodness or conditional goodness. That is not real goodness. But devotees, they have real goodness, which is always there. You know? That's why they are friendly towards friends and also friendly towards enemies. They are friendly in nature, always. So we see a very good example of conditional goodness in the character of Kansa. Right? He was so touched that day. Oh, my sister is going to get married today. And my sister is going to go to her new house all by herself. No one is going to accompany her. So let me become a good brother for today. So he immediately rose up to the chariot and he told the chariot driver, get lost. I'm going to drive the chariot today. I am the best brother of my most dear, lovely sister. So I'll do this. And when Kansa took the ropes of the horses in his hand, the entire city of Mathura was shocked. What happened? How come this demon has become an angel today? He has become such a nice man. He is going to drive the chariot. He's so humble now. Because of his love for Devaki, he has become so humble. So that day, Mathura people were actually appreciating Kansa, that Kansa has changed now. Kansa has become such a good man. He has so much love for Devaki. But where did that love go when he heard the voice from the sky? As soon as he heard the voice from the sky, love, there was no love. He took his sword, caught hold of the hairs of Devaki, and he was immediately going to cut the throat of Devaki. That very day when she got married. Right? So this is conditional goodness. Right? So here Prabhupada is quoting, devotees, they are not like this. Those are genuine devotees. Their good qualities are born of bhakti. So Arjuna's compassion is because of his bhakti. Fine. Okay, now we have something interesting for you to see. Fear responses. Think about it. So what are the different ways you can respond? Someone said pray, someone said flight, freeze or fight, surrender to God. By remembering Krishna, take shelter of Lord and Guru, heartbeat increases, sweating happens. You start chanting, you call for help. Remember and keep faith in Krishna, you run away from the situations. You chant, you remember and pray to God, you shout for help. Surrender to Krishna, sweating, dry screen, inability to think, running away, praying, run away, attachment, crying, faith, run, shivering, fawn, first care and think for solution. Devotee, pray, have faith, non-devotee, anger, anxiety. Yes, palpitations. Yes, so many other ways to respond. Pray and face. Correct. Mhm. So one person has done a good analysis, and he said, even Prabhupada speaks of this. He says, in any situation like that, there are two things that you may do. One is pratikar and one is apratikar. Pratikar means what? You may react. And apratikar means you don't react. Right? Pratikar and apratikar. So this person has translated this as engage and disengage. Pratikar means engage and apratikar means disengage. So he's saying that there are four ways actually you can respond to such a fearful situation. What are those four ways? Those four ways are fight, fawn, flight, freeze. Pratikar, pratikar would mean engage, which means either you fight the enemy, or fight the situation. Or the other is fawn. Fawn means you negotiate. You try to trick the other person and you negotiate. Huh? So you have reacted in a way. And apratikar, disengage, either you run away from their flight or you freeze. You just become statue. You are not able to think what to do, what next. You're not able to decide. Fear has engulfed you so much that you are now, fixed in that position, completely motionless, numb, right? So that's called freeze. Now, in this situation, when we look at Arjuna, what happened with Arjuna?
Freeze.
Disengage.
He freeze.
Yes. Why did Arjuna not try for negotiations?
Because they had already tried
Already tried in the past, correct?
and failed.
And Arjuna had also decided to fight. Therefore, they came together to the battlefield, right? Why Arjuna is not running away? Why Arjuna is not running away? Flights, because he's not a coward. So now he responds in this way. He became frozen. I don't want to fight. Correct. I'm not able to decide. He's frozen. See, when Arjuna saw the army, because he told Krishna, take my chariot between the two armies. I want to see who all have come to fight. Arjuna is frightened, right? When Duryodhana saw the Pandavas' army, he was also frightened, right? What was his action when he saw Pandavas' army and he got scared?
He went to his teacher,
He-
Dronacharya.
He went to his teacher Dronacharya. He was also frightened. Arjuna is also frightened. But is the cause of their fear same?
No.
No.
What is the
No.
difference?
There is compassion in Arjuna's fear.
Arjuna
Arjuna's
fear, compassion.
Arjuna's fear is because of compassion.
Arjuna's fear.
Arjuna's fear is because of compassion. And Duryodhana's fear was because of
Selfishness.
greed. Right? Isn't it? Arjuna decided to freeze. Duryodhana decided to
Fight.
Fight
Fiercely.
and conquer.
Fight very
Fight.
fiercely.
Fight.
now in both the case they are fear stricken. Will you call their fear material, or Arjuna's fear is spiritual and Duryodhana's material?
Duryodhana's material, because he's thinking only about himself.
And
And
Arjuna's?
out of compassion.
Compassion.
Arjuna's is out of compassion, but I'm asking, is it material or spiritual?
Material.
Spiritual.
Thinking about bodily designations, for the relatives.
The reason he's giving shows that it is material.
Material, very good. So it is material. The only thing is that his Duryodhana's selfishness, Prabhupada calls that kind of selfishness as self-centered selfishness. And Arjuna's selfishness will be considered as self-extended selfishness. Arjuna is also being selfish actually, because he's thinking of family, relatives, friends. Right? Understood, right?
Yes.
So Prabhupada points out, where is Arjuna's mentality showing that he's thinking in material platform? Swajanam. He points out this word, Swajanam, my own men. My own men. So Prabhupada then says in one lecture very nicely, what does he say? Okay, every day same people raise their hand to read. What about others? Why are you so passive in participating in the class? I already mentioned in the orientation, your video should be on, you should participate, you should read. We are just 1 month down from the course beginning or commencement. So please do actively participate. Today is Sunday, none of you are working, I'm sure. Maybe you got up late, so that's why your video is off. Shivangi Mataji, read please.
My dear Krishna, I have to kill my own men. Own men means this bodily relationship. Why are others not own men? Everyone is own men because everyone is Krishna's son. So even one becomes Krishna conscious, he see everyone as own men. And when he is not Krishna conscious, he simply sees own men where there is a bodily relationship. This is the defect. Hare Krishna.
So that's Prabhupada's explanation. Arjuna is seeing only his relatives as own men. Why not others? Why they are not own men? So when we become Krishna conscious, we can see everyone as own men. So that's the situation. So Arjuna's situation is what? Now what is happening with him? He is experiencing different fear symptoms. Ve patuscha sharire me romaharshascha jayate gandivam shamsate hasta tvachaiva paridahyate. My whole body is trembling. My hair is standing on end. My bow, Gandhika, is slipping from my hand, and my skin is burning. Prabhupada writes in the purport. Sarvadev Giridharidram.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. There are two kinds of trembling of the body and two kinds of standings of the hair on end. Such phenomenon occur either in great spiritual ecstasy or out of great fear under material condition. There is no fear in transcendental realization. Arjuna's symptoms in this situation are out of material fear, namely loss of life. This is evident from the other symptoms also. He became so impatient that this of Gandiva was slipping from his hands, and because of his heart was burning within him. He was feeling a burning sensation of the skin. All these are due to a material condition of life. Hare Krishna.
Next verse. Na cha shaknomi avasthatum brahmativa cha me manaha nimittani cha pashyami viparitani keshava. I am now unable to stand here any longer. I am forgetting myself and my mind is reeling. I see only causes of misfortune. O Krishna, killer of the Keshi demon. Nimittani cha pashyami viparitani keshava. Pashyami means to see. Nimitta means some signs, just like to give you an example. If you see dark clouds coming into the sky, what will be the next inference?
Rain.
It's going to rain, right? So that dark clouds coming in the sky is called nimitta. Got nimitta, a sign. And that sign leads you to think that something is going to happen. So Arjuna is saying, Nimittani chapashyami. I am seeing some signs, but what kind of signs am I seeing? Signs of our happiness? No. Viparitani. I am seeing signs of our suffering. Right? I am seeing the signs of our suffering. So therefore, why should we fight? This is what he's expressing here. I am now unable to stand here any longer. I see only causes of misfortune. Right? So Prabhupada again gives the Krishna conscious explanation here. Very beautiful. Tanushree Madhuri, please.
Hare Krishna, Pranam Prabhu. Purport by Srila Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. Due to his impatience, Arjuna was unable to stay on the battlefield and he was forgetting himself. On account of this, the weakness of the mind, excessive attachment for material things puts a man in such a bewildering condition of extent. Bhayam dvitabi niveshadaha syat. Bhagavatam 11.2.37. Such fearlessness and loss of mental equilibrium take place in persons who are too affected by material conditions. Arjuna envisioned only painful reverses in the battlefield. He would not be happy even by gaining victory over the foe. The words nimittani viparitani are significant. When a man sees only frustration in his expectation, he thinks, why am I here? Everyone is interested in himself and his own welfare. No one is interested in the Supreme Self. Arjuna is showing ignorance of his real self, interest by Krishna's will. One's real self-interest lies in Vishnu or Krishna. The condition so forgets this and therefore suffers material pain. Arjuna thought that his victory in the battle would only be a cause of lamentation for him. Hare Krishna.
So Prabhupada is saying this is material consciousness, that whenever you have to make any decision, you think, what is in it for me? What am I going to get from this? So he's saying, but to be Krishna conscious means you should be thinking, what is Krishna's benefit in this? And if this is for Krishna's benefit, or this is going to give benefit to Krishna, I should do it. And if it is going to give benefit just to me, then I'm being selfish. So Arjuna is saying, I am seeing causes of misfortune. But Krishna is telling, Arjuna, you fight, it will give you good fortune. So Arjuna should think, if Krishna is saying it will give me good fortune, I should accept it as good fortune, even if it means for me to suffer. Right? So I should see the way Krishna is trying to see. And if Krishna's perception leads to my personal, suffering, in that perception, if I see and I do something related to my personal suffering, I should accept. That's the point which he's trying to make. Now, this is the second reason, or link to the second reason, that Arjuna is going to say, I want to fight only if we will get happiness from this battle or the result of this battle. But we will not get happiness from it. So why should we fight? Second reason, opposite results. So a good lesson for us to learn here is there are different levels of spirituality. At a lower level, one is more interested in personal material gratification than giving pleasure to God. Okay. Second reason to not fight, enjoyment. What is the next verse? Na cha shreya anupashyami atva swajanamahave na kamshe vijayam Krishna. Excuse me, sorry. Na cha rajan sukhani cha. I do not see how any good can come from killing my own kinsmen in this battle, nor can I desire my dear Krishna any subsequent victory, kingdom, or happiness. Na cha shreya. Shreya means ultimate good. Anupashyami, do I see? Which Anupashyami means Arjuna is thinking, even after looking into this matter again and again, Krishna may say, no, Arjuna, you should take more time to think about it. No, I have looked into it again and again. Anupashyami, I have thought it, considered it again and again. I don't see any benefit in it. Na cha shreya anupashyami, hatva swajanamahavi. No benefit in killing one's own people. Krishna is saying, why don't you see the benefit? There's so much of benefit. Arjuna may ask, what is the benefit? If you kill them, Vijayam, you will become victorious. Right? Arjuna says, I don't want such victory. Then Krishna says, but if you become victorious, Arjuna, you are going to get the kingdom. Arjuna says, Nacha Rajyam. I don't want that kingdom also. But Arjuna, if you get the kingdom, you'll be happy. I don't want that happiness also. So he says, Na Vijayam, Na Rajyam, Sukhanicha. I don't want victory. I don't want the consequent kingdom, and I don't want the resultant happiness. I want nothing of this. Okay. So Arjuna is thinking, I will win the battle, but at the same time, I'll suffer greatly. Why? Because those who will get killed in this battle, even if they are sinners, they will go to the sun planet because they got killed on the battlefield while facing the enemy. And I will suffer here, and next life I'll go to hell. So better is whose situation? Those who are going to get killed or those who are going to kill? So they are more fortunate. They'll get killed, they'll go to heaven. I'll kill and I'll go to the hell. So that's why I don't want to fight. Right? So this is the logic which he is using. With whom shall I enjoy? You kill your kinsmen, you get victory. From victory comes kingdom. From kingdom comes happiness. Arjuna is saying, if all my kinsmen are killed, what is the value of my victory? With whom shall I enjoy? So I don't want to fight. Understood the logic which Arjuna is giving?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. Let's read the purport. Bhakti Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Without knowing that one's self-interest is in Vishnu or Krishna, conditioned souls are attracted by bodily relationships, hoping to be happy in such situations. In such a blind conception of life, they forget even the causes of material happiness. Arjuna appears to have even forgotten the moral codes for a Kshatriya. It is said that two kinds of men, namely the Kshatriya who dies directly in front of the battlefield under Krishna's personal orders, and the person in the renounced order of life who is absolutely devoted to spiritual culture, are eligible to enter into the sun globe, which is so powerful and dazzling. Arjuna is reluctant even to kill his enemies, let alone his relatives. He thinks that by killing his kinsmen, there would be no happiness in his life, and therefore he is not willing to fight. Such a person who does not feel hunger is not inclined to cook. He has now decided to go into the forest and live a secluded life in frustration. But as a Kshatriya, he requires a kingdom for his subsistence, because the Kshatriyas cannot engage themselves in any other occupation. But Arjuna has no kingdom. Arjuna's sole opportunity for gaining a kingdom lies in fighting with his cousins and brothers and reclaiming the kingdom inherited from his father, which he does not like to do. Therefore, he considers himself fit to go to the forest to live a secluded life of frustration. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Very beautiful example is given by Prabhupada. Just like if someone doesn't feel hungry, then one will also not feel like cooking. Why should I cook? I'm not hungry. But then the point is, other members in the family might be hungry. So you cook for them. But if you think, I'm not hungry, let others also remain without food. So that is not correct. So similarly, Arjuna is just thinking about his own self. I don't want to fight, because if I fight, I'll suffer. So I'll not fight. But he's not thinking that Krishna wants me to fight. My other Pandava brothers want me to fight. My own soldiers who have come here, they want me to fight. Correct. So I should not fight.
Prabhuji, one small clarification can I ask? In the purport, third line, they say, in such a blind conception of life, they forget even the causes of material happiness. What does it mean? Third line.
Means that, you see, there is happiness in this world, material happiness. And to experience that material happiness, also we have to follow the laws of conduct given in the Vedas. Correct? So Prabhupada is saying that people, if they become completely blind to everything what is given in the Vedas, then they will lose to enjoy even that material happiness which is obtainable. Understood? Got it? Like that. Like to give you an example. Study Mahabharata. What does Yudhishthira Maharaj say? Anyone who lives on loan will be in anxiety. Right or wrong?
Right.
Correct. Now, people who know that and don't take loan in life, they may not have a house, they may not have a car, they may not have other things. At the same time, they also don't have the anxiety to pay back the loan. They're free from that anxiety. Right? And those who have taken the loan, they are thinking, for 20 years, I have to slog like anything, work in this company, because I have to pay off.
Okay. It means Prabhuji, that to get themselves free from the anxiety of paying the loan, they forget that the cause of taking loan is to enjoy material life, as you said.
Correct.
They
Yeah.
forget. Okay,
Correct.
got it.
So then,
Thank you.
so even that little happiness which was there in life goes away by taking loan.
But that is the material happiness.
Material happiness, no, material happiness. But even that is not there, right? Even that is not there.
Thank you. Got it.
So that's the point. There is material happiness, but because of such sophisticated lifestyle we have, we cannot even enjoy that material happiness. Isn't it?
Got it. Thank you.
All right, understood.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Okay. Anything else? Any other question before we go to the next verse? No. Next verse. Kim no rajena govinda kim bhoge jivitena va yesham arte kangshitam no rajyam bhogaha sukhani cha ta imeva sthita yuddhe pranam styaktva dhanani cha आचार्याः पितरः पुत्रास् तथैव च पितामहः मातुला श्वशुरः पौत्राः शालासम्बन्धिनस्तथा एतान् हन्तुमिच्छामि नतोऽपि मधुसूदन अपि त्रैलोक्यराज्यस्य हेतो किं नो मही कृते निहत्य धार्तराष्ट्रान्नः का प्रीति स्यात् जनार्दन. O Govinda, of what avail to us are a kingdom, happiness, or even life itself, when all those for whom we may desire them are now arrayed on the battlefield? O Madhusudana, when teachers, fathers, sons, grandfathers, maternal uncles, father-in-laws, grandsons, brothers-in-law, and other relatives are ready to give up their lives and properties and are standing before me, why should I wish to kill them, even though they might otherwise kill me? O maintainer of all living entities, I am not prepared to fight with them, even in exchange for the three worlds, let alone this earth. What pleasure will we derive from killing the sons of Dhritarashtra? Purport. Niyati Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Arjuna has addressed Lord Krishna as Govinda because Krishna is the object of all pleasures for cows and the senses. By using this significant word, Arjuna indicates that Krishna should understand what will satisfy Arjuna's senses. But Govinda is not meant for satisfying our senses. If we try to satisfy the senses of Govinda, however, then automatically our own senses are satisfied. Materially, everyone wants to satisfy his senses, and he wants God to be the order supplier for such satisfaction. The Lord will satisfy the senses of the living entities as much as they deserve, but not to the extent that they may covet. But when one takes the opposite way, namely, when one tries to satisfy the senses of Govinda without desiring to satisfy one's own senses, then, by the grace of Govinda, all desires of the living entity are satisfied. Arjuna's deep affection for community and family members is exhibited here partly due to the natural compassion for them. He is therefore not prepared to fight. Everyone wants to show his opulence to friends and relatives. But Arjuna fears that all his relatives and friends will be killed on the battlefield and he will be unable to share his opulence after victory. This is a typical calculation of material life. The transcendental life, however, is different. Since a devotee wants to satisfy the desires of the Lord, he can, Lord willing, accept all kinds of opulence for the service of the Lord. And if the Lord is not willing, he should not accept a farthing. Arjuna did not want to kill his relatives, And if there was any need to kill them, he desired that Krishna will kill them personally. At this point, he did not know that Krishna had already killed them before their coming into the battlefield, and that he was only to become an instrument for Krishna.
Thank you. Okay. Ragini Mataji, read for me.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, this fact is disclosed in the following chapter as a natural devotee of Lord did not like to rage against his miscreant cousins. Was the Lord planned that they should all be killed? The devotee of the Lord does not relatable against the wrongdoer, but the Lord does not tolerate any mischief done by the devotee, by the miscreant. The Lord can excuse a person on his own account, but he excused no one who has done harm to his devotee. Therefore, the Lord has determined to kill the miscreant, although Arjuna wanted to excuse them. Hare Krishna.
Yes. Okay. So Arjuna has used different names here for Krishna. What are those names? Govinda, Madhusudana, and
Madhusudana.
Janardana. Right. So why he says Govinda? Because Govinda means one who gives pleasure to the senses. So Krishna is being addressed by Arjuna. So because Arjuna wants to say, you are Govinda. You give pleasure to everyone. Why are you not able to understand by fighting in this war or battle? I am not going to get any pleasure. So that's why Prabhupada says Govinda is not meant to give you pleasure. And next is Madhusudana. So Arjuna is saying killing an enemy, Madhu, is easy. But you are telling me to kill my own people. And then he's using the word Janardana. Janardana means Jana Ardana, which means killing the mass. So Arjuna is saying, you are Janardana, so why don't you kill them? Why you are asking me to kill them? You will not even get any sinful reaction for killing them. So you kill them. Why you are asking me to kill them? So in this way, Vishwanath Thakur says that Arjuna is indirectly conveying many messages to Krishna using different names of Krishna. And this is true, right? From Mahabharata, we come to know that after the Pandavas won, they ruled only for 37 years. So Arjuna is thinking, such a short span of kingship, and because of fighting in this battle and killing so many people, we will be living in the hell for millions of years. So why? 37 years of happiness on the planet, Earth as the king, and then millions of years of suffering in hell. Better don't fight, don't kill. So then he goes to the next topic, fear of sin. Okay, before we go to that topic, any questions? When does Krishna kill Jana? Well, Krishna does not kill. Jana means people, right? So Krishna is known as Janardana because he is the final cause of ultimate destruction. What happens at the end of the creation?
So is it during Pralay?
Everyone gets dissolved in his body during Pralay. So it's called Janardana.
Janardana is protector?
It has both the meanings.
Both the
depending on how do you take the Sanskrit.
Meanings, no? Healer as well as protector. Means if his devotees are suffering, he...
Yeah. So it means maintainer also. Both the meanings are there. Maintainer and killer. So here Arjuna wants to take this meaning, killer. Arjuna did not want to kill his relatives, and if there were any need to kill them, he desired that Krishna kill them personally. At this point, he did not know that Krishna has already killed them before they come into the battlefield, and that he was only to become an instrument for Krishna. What is the meaning? Arjuna is now acting as a conditioned soul, right? So then, therefore, he is behaving in this way, that he is in ignorance. He does not know. So that's why he's putting all these comments or excuses. Okay, Brajesh.
Hare Krishna,
Yeah.
bro.
Hare Krishna.
At this point, Arjuna didn't realize he is already killed. Can be understood in how should we understand that statement of that sentence, bro?
Already killed means Krishna has already decided for them to die, right? The Kauravas. So that will happen. Whether Arjuna fights or not, they will die.
Not that a person who is born will die. Not like that. You shouldn't interpret
No,
like.
not like that. Not like that. Here, already killed does not mean that anyone who is born will die. So you just consider them as already killed. I mean, that's not good logic, right?
Correct.
Then people will just start killing everyone and say you're already killed.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. So here, when Krishna is saying they're already killed, it means Krishna has already decided for them to die soon. So if Arjuna does not kill, Krishna will kill through some other way. Like Krishna, how did he manage to completely make the free from Yadus? He made them fight with each other and kill each other, right?
Correct.
It's Krishna's plan. So that's why if Arjuna does not fight, Krishna will find some other way to wipe off all the demonic forces from the surface of earth. They're already killed. Now Arjuna just have to become an instrument.
Yes, bro.
The person in the renounced, that's just like Prabhupada said, right? Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's movement is going to flourish far and wide. Now, if you want to take credit, start preaching. That's what he said. If you want to take credit, you start preaching. Otherwise, if you don't preach, don't think that the movement will not spread. It will spread far and wide. So same thing Krishna is telling Arjuna. They are dead. You want to take the credit? Fight and kill them. Next, Kirti Mataji. The person in the renounced order of life who is absolutely devoted to spiritual culture are eligible to enter into the sun globe. Sun globe means the sun planet. Sun is a heavenly planet, right? So a sannyasi who has been a fixed up sannyasi. Now here this sannyasi doesn't refer to a Vaishnava sannyasi. Here it refers to any sannyasi from an ashram system. So if someone has been a good sannyasi, then because of that, that person gets promotion to live in the sun planet, heavenly planet. Enjoy in the sun. Okay. Any other question? So we take a break. Welcome back. पापमेवाश्रयेदस्मान् हत्वैतानाततायिनः तस्मान्नार्हा वयं हन्तुं धातराष्ट्रान् स्वबान्धवान् स्वजनं हि कथं हत्वा सुखिनः स्याम माधव. Sin will overcome us if we slay such aggressors. Therefore, it is not proper for us to kill the sons of Dhritarashtra and our friends. What should we gain, O Krishna, husband of the goddess of fortune? And how could we be happy by killing our own kinsmen? You know? So this fear of sin. Let's read the purport. Amrita Vilasini.
Hare Krishna, Dandana Pranam. According to Vedic injunctions, there are 6 kinds of aggressors: a a, a poison giver, one who sets fire to the house, one who attacks with deadly weapons, one who plunders riches, one who occupies another's land, and one who kidnaps a wife. Such aggressors are not ones to be killed, and one sin is incurred by killing such aggressors. Such killings of aggressors is quite befitting any ordinary man, but Arjuna was not an ordinary person. He was saintly by character, and therefore he wanted to deal with them in saintliness. This kind of saintliness, however, is not for a Shastra, although a responsible man in the administrations of a state is required to be saintly. He should not be cowardly. For example, Lord Rama was so saintly that people even now are anxious to live in the kingdoms of Lord Rama, Rama Raja. But Lord Rama never showed any cowardice. Ramana was one aggressor against Rama because Ramana kidnapped Rama's wife Sita. But Lord Rama gave his sufficient lessons, unparalleled in the history of the world. In Arjuna's case, however, one should consider the special type of aggressors, namely his own grandfather, own teacher, friends, sons, grandsons, etc. Because of them, Arjuna thought that he should not take the 7 steps necessary against ordinary aggressors. Besides that, saintly persons are advised to forgive. Such injunctions for saintly persons are more important than any political emergency. Arjuna considered that rather than kill his own kingmen for political reasons, it would be better to forgive them on grounds of religions and saintly behavior. He did not, therefore, consider such killing profitable, simple for the matter of temporary bodily happiness. After all, kingdoms and pleasures derived them therefore are not permanent. So why should he risk his life and in eternal civilizations by killing his own kingmen? Arjuna addressing of Krishna as Madhava, or the husbands of the goddess of fortune, is also significant in this connection. He wanted to point out to Krishna that, as husband of the goddess of fortune, he should not induce Arjuna to take up a matter which would ultimately bring about misfortune. Krishna, however, never brings misfortune to anyone, to say nothing of his devotees. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Sphere of sin. Some of you might know there are 5 types of Shastras. Artha, Kama, Dharma, Jnana, Bhakti. Okay. Jnana Shastra is also known as Moksha Shastra. So, Chanakya Niti will be which kind of Shastra?
Artha.
Artha. Very good. And then Natya Shastra.
Jnana Shastra.
Natya means
Kama.
Kama.
Okay. Mahabharata.
Dharma.
Dharma Shastra.
Dharma.
Manusmriti.
Jnana.
Jnana Shastra.
Dharma Shastra.
Dharma Shastra. Manusmriti. Dharma Shastra. Upanishads.
Jnana.
Bhakti.
Jnana Shastra. Jnana Shastra. In general, I mean, some Upanishad may also be Bhakti, but in general, Upanishads are Jnana Shastra. Vedanta Sutra.
Bhakti.
Jnana Shastra.
Which is Bhakti then?
Srimad Bhagavatam.
Bhakti Shastra.
Bhakti.
Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu.
Bhakti.
Bhakti Shastra.
Updesham.
Bhakti.
So these are different types of scriptures. Now, anything written by Prabhupada?
Bhakti.
Right? If Prabhupada writes a translation or commentation on Mahabharata,
Bhakti.
if Prabhupada writes on Chanakya Niti,
Bhakti.
he will make it Bhakti. Even though it's Artha Shastra, he will make it Bhakti. So, Arjuna is saying, from the point of Dharma Shastra, it's wrong to kill what?
Your relatives.
Your relatives. From the point of Artha Shastra,
it is okay.
It is okay. Tit for tat. It's okay. That person is your enemy, so you also become enemy. That's Artha Shastra or Kama Shastra. But Dharma Shastra, no. If they are your relatives, no. Aggressors. Even if they are relatives, then you don't kill them. If they are relatives. Dharma Shastra is saying. Isn't it? So from the perspective of Dharma Shastra, Arjuna is thinking that don't kill your family members. Right? Now, when Arjuna says this, that I will not kill them because they are my family members, Krishna may retaliate. He may say, but they are not ready to kill you. For them, are you not a family member? Just like for you, they are family members. For them, are you not a family member? They are ready to kill you. Why are you not ready to kill them?
Arjuna is thinking on the path of Dharma. Those people are not on the path of Dharma, so they don't think alike.
They don't think like that. So that's why then Krishna may say so, right? So then Arjuna is going to respond for that point in the next verse. What he will say? Yadyapyete na pashyanti lobhopahat chetasaha kulakshay kritam dosham mitradrohe cha patakam katham nageyam asmabhihi Papad asman nivartitum kulakshay kritam dosham prapashyad bhi janadana. O Janadana, although these men, now Krishna said, they are ready to kill you, you are not ready to kill them. Why? So he's saying because their hearts have been overtaken by greed. Hmm. They see no fault in killing one's own family or quarreling with friends. Why should we, who can see the crime in destroying a family, engage in these acts of sin? Right? Hmm? So Krishna Arjuna is saying that they are having lobopahata chetasaha. Their chetana is upahata, is affected by low greed. And that's why they don't see the fault. Kulakshay kritam dosham, the fault of destroying the dynasty. They don't see. Mitra drohe chapatakam. Mitra droha. Droha means to
Betray.
betray. So they don't see the fault of betraying a friend. Now, who is a friend here? Is Arjuna a friend of Duryodhana? Is Yudhishthira a friend of Duryodhana? Mitra drohe chapatakam. Did they have friendship amongst each other?
Family relation.
Family relation. But that's already mentioned. Why did he specifically use the word mitra drohe chapatakam? They don't know. Hmm?
Ashwatthama?
No. So in Mahabharata, there is this incident which Arjuna is pointing to. What is that incident? That when the Pandavas were living in the forest, in that 12 years of exile, once Duryodhana wanted to make fun of them. So he told his father, I will go to the forest. And since he had no good excuse, he said, we will take we'll go there for some work. So the father agreed. So what did Duryodhana do? He, along with his friends, they camped on one side of the river. On the other side of the river, the Pandavas were already living. So their whole plan was, Pandavas are living in great poverty. They don't have a proper house. They don't have proper food to eat. So what we'll do is, on this side of the river, we'll party. And on the other side of the river, they are living in an abstract poverty. When they will see us enjoy, they'll become more miserable. So in this way, we will cause them pain. So this was Duryodhana's plan, right? So uh, they did so. They went to camp on the other side of the river. And because they were now illusioned by pride, they were intoxicated. They entered into the river and started sporting in the river. However, that was the time when the Gandharvas would come and bathe in the river or do different activities in the river. Now, the king of Gandharvas, whose name is Chitraratha, right? He was a friend of Arjuna or a well-wisher of Arjuna. So he thought, this Duryodhana has come to make fun of my friend. Let me teach him a lesson. So the Gandharvas, they waged a war against the Kauravas. And this was happening in front of the Pandavas. The situation became so bad that the Kauravas lost, and the Gandharvas, they tied up Duryodhana and kidnapped him. At that moment, Duryodhana felt so miserable. Bhima started laughing. He said, very nice. You see, he came to make us sad. Now he is stuck in a big time problem. So Yudhishthira told Bhimsen, no, you should not laugh. After all, he's our brother. So Arjun and Bhim, I tell you, go and protect Duryodhana. Bhim said, are you a crazy person? I mean, by good fortune, Duryodhana is in a problem now. And you want us to go and help Duryodhana? This is nonsense. I'll not go. But then Yudhishthira said, no, you should go. After all, he's our brother. And then Yudhishthira made that famous statement, when we are fighting with each other, we are 105. But someone else is fighting with us, then we are 105. Means we come together and fight. So that means that you will never be happy in life. And he just left from there. And Arjuna also accompanied him. Then Bhim and Arjuna fought against the Gandharvas and rescued Duryodhana. So they gave a new life to Duryodhana. Okay. Fine. In this way, they became Duryodhana's protectors. So in that way, they also became friend of Duryodhana. Now the same people who saved him are standing in the battlefield and Duryodhana wants to kill them. So Mitra Drohe Chapatakam. He wants to kill his own protectors. Right? So that's what Arjuna is saying, that he is such an ungrateful person. We saved his life and now he wants to kill us. Right? So he does not know the sin of betraying someone who trusts you. He does not know that sin. But we know that. So that's why Krishna, we should not fight. We should not kill our family members. This is the logic or reason he's giving. So a good lesson for us to learn. Duryodhana is greedy. So regarding greed, it's said that by Narad Muni, hunger and thirst can be satisfied by eating and drinking. Anger can be satisfied by chastising. But greed can never be satisfied by any means. Lobopata chetasaha. What does one lose by greed? In Srimad Bhagavatam it is said, one loses these 5 things because of greed. You lose the results of your austerities. You lose your good education. You lose your knowledge. You lose your good reputation. And you lose your spiritual strength. One loses these 5 things because of greed. Okay, let's read the purport. Suman Prabhu.
A Kshatriya is not supposed to refuse to battle or gamble when he is so invited by some rival party. Under such an obligation, Arjuna could not refuse to fight because he had been challenged by the party of Duryodhana. In this connection, Arjuna considered that the other party might be blind to the effects of such a challenge. Arjuna, however, could Sorry, Prabhuji, for the disturbance. Arjuna considered that the other party might be blind to the effects of such a challenge. Arjuna, however, could see the evil consequences and could not accept the challenge. Obligation is actually binding when the effect is good, but when the effect is otherwise, then no one can be bound. Considering all these pros and cons, Arjuna decided not to fight. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Very nice statement is given here. Obligation is actually binding when the effect is good. But when the effect is otherwise, then no one can be bound. This is a very important point. Especially, in India, a lot of Exploitation happens in the name of obligation. A lot of exploitation happens in the name of obligation. We are obliged, we are obliged, we are obliged. But then obligation is binding only when the result is good. If the result is not good, what is the value of obligation? That I'm obliged to do this or I'm obliged to do that. This is a big problem in Indian social setup that actually does not let the Indians come out of social, familial, situations and practice Krishna consciousness properly. Or sometimes even support the right thing, because we are obliged. We are obliged. So whereas the obligation is actually binding when the effect is good. But if the effect is otherwise, then there is no such obligation. Right? There is no such obligation. In Western culture, this is a good thing, at least, that they don't feel such obligations. But the problem is that then they're totally free sometimes. No obligations at all. In India, too much of restriction in the matter of obligation. But there has to be a good balance between them. Good balance, right? There should be obligation, but the obligation should lead to good. Why did Bhishma Dev feel obliged to protect Duryodhana when the effect was not good? The effect was very good. Duryodhana got killed. If Bhishma would not have fought for Duryodhana, Duryodhana would not dare to fight with the Pandavas. Right.
Similarly, Prabhuji, when Duryodhana invited Yudhishthir for gambling, Drut Krida, Yudhishthir also could have thought it is a bad thing. He would not have obliged.
Yeah, that's why Yudhishthir was wrong. No one is going to glorify Yudhishthir's acceptance of, the order to do gambling. That's something which Yudhishthir did wrong. Right? Now, in Mahabharata, they said that Yudhishthir agreed to gamble because as a Kshatriya, one thing is there that, if someone challenges you for a fight or a gambling match, you cannot say no. So that was there. But then one may say, Yudhishthir is not an ordinary Kshatriya, he's a Vaishnava, he should know gambling is not good. Correct. Then another argument comes, but because that instruction came from Dhritarashtra and Dhritarashtra is superior, he felt obliged. That my superior is telling me.
But in the entire Mahabharata, the Kauravas, Pandavas, Acharyas, Gurus, nobody criticized Yudhishthir officially.
No, it's not like that. In the Mahabharata, it is that thing has come up. Yudhishthira is definitely seen to be wrong there. Correct. But then another point which comes here is, in case of Yudhishthira or some other Vaishnava who is so exalted, we will see this as part of Krishna's plan. So when you see a pure Vaishnava doing something which is like, I would not have done it, then you should know that pure Vaishnava is doing it under Krishna's plan.
Correct. So,
Prabhu, like Parikshit Maharaj?
Like Parikshit Maharaj putting the snake around the neck of the sage. Correct? Isn't it? I mean, we sometimes may think, no, I will never do such a thing. Why did Parikshit Maharaj do such a thing? So when you see a pure Vaishnava doing something so wrong, then you should know this is something which Krishna somehow did. So Yudhishthira Maharaj agreed there that, okay, but this is something which we need to understand, even in our day-to-day dealings within the organization iskcon. We should know we are obliged. But if our obligations become hindrance in making our progress in Krishna consciousness, then we are no longer obliged. You're getting it? To give you a very simple example, let's say you're connected to a center and someone brought you to Krishna consciousness. So then that person may start thinking, because I brought you to Krishna consciousness, you cannot hear anyone else lecture. You cannot associate with any other devotee. Throughout your life, you have to be just under me. Now, it is true because that person has brought you to Krishna consciousness. You are obliged to be submissive towards that person. But if being obliged throughout your life, if you are stuck and not making progress in Krishna consciousness, then you don't have to remain obliged. Right? So that's what Prabhupada is saying. Obligation is good as long as it's helping you to achieve the goal. If it's not helping you to achieve the goal, what is the value of obligation? Right? Isn't it?
Prabhuji, but you might offend that Vaishnava, no, and he's a pure Vaishnava. So we'll do Vaishnava
So you do it in a proper way, you do it in a right way. You don't offend that Vaishnava, you don't criticize that Vaishnava, you don't blaspheme that Vaishnava. But you also take another association which is better than that Vaishnava's association. Isn't it? Correct? So that's how we have to understand. Obligation is good only when the effect is good. Otherwise, it's not good. Otherwise, it should be left. This is very important to understand.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
But this can be misused. Sometimes devotees think my family overburdens me and slowing me down in Krishna consciousness, so I should neglect them.
No. Again, when you make any such decision, you also have to then cross-check with Guru, no? It's not being said that you independently decide anything. You check with the spiritual master, and the spiritual master will then discuss and say yes. Fine. So, like Vaiji Mataji also posted a comment, effect is good, is a relative thing. So, good from whose point of view? So, good from Krishna's point of view, good from spiritual master's point of view. Then I should accept. Right. Now, let's go to that example. Prabhupada already in 50s. For 15 years, 20 years or more than that, he has tried to bring up his family, give them good care materially. And then he's getting this call from his spiritual master, you should take sannyas. So what was his dilemma? But I'm obliged towards my family. I'm obliged towards my family. I'm obliged towards my family. Right? Isn't it? So at that time, what did his sister say? Yes, you have obligation, but you have not been able to do anything for last 20, 25 years. So what is any hope that you'll do something in future? So better now you use that remaining time for doing what you want to do. Right? Isn't it? So same thing, like for example, we may have obligation towards our family and we are trying to be very genuinely serving them, taking care of them and everything. But then after a certain time, you see, it's like hopeless. I have been doing and doing and doing and doing and doing, and now nothing is happening. And I cannot do further. I cannot do further. At that time, one should not think still it's my obligation. Right? Then you do something which will actually give you benefit. Maybe not material, spiritual benefit. So one has to then think in this way. Anyway, I cannot do anything here. Better I spend my time doing something else there. And then not lament that I was not good in, fulfilling my commitments. Right?
Yes,
so that is the obligation is good, but only when the effect is good. Otherwise, there is no need of accepting gambling was kind of mandatory, yes. For Kshatriyas, it's one of the rules. They should accept a fight, gambling match. They cannot refuse.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat. Prabhuji, you're saying only when the result is good, it is obligatory or it is an obligation. But result should be good for both the sides, or it should be just good for me and not good for other. Because you will have to balance your family and everything else, and then only you can move forward in
You have to see how much good. How much good that we have to see. How much good it is doing. That we have to see. Just like Prabhupada's case, I give you a very simple, good example. Prabhupada's case, he tried, and then he just said, anyway, you're not going to do anything much for your family. So why spend time there? Now do something which you can do properly. So how much good we can do? That we have to discuss, decide, no?
maybe somewhere you have to strike a balance between.
Yes, you have to strike a balance.
Thank you.
And then slowly, you also have to know that there was a time for me to do good. I'm not born to just, I'm not just born to take care of my family till the time I die. Right? There was a time period given by Krishna to me. So I am supposed to fulfill my duties within that time period. Isn't it? Correct. Now, to give you a very simple example, parents working very hard, they bring up a child, send the child to school, send the child to college, university. Now the child is 30 years old. Okay. Just giving an abstract example. The child is 30 years old and the parents are themselves 56, 58. Fine. Okay. Still the child does not have a job. Why it does not have a job? Irresponsible fellow or very, very whimsical person. I want this kind of work only, otherwise I'll not work at all. Okay, whatever. Now, in that situation, if the parents, they think, still we are obliged to take care of this child, then that is called foolishness.
Effect will not be good.
You're not still obliged. You're obliged till when? Okay, the child grow up, you give education, then you are okay. But after that, you're not obliged. Now, if you think, oh, I have family commitment, I have to take care of my child, how will I practice Krishna consciousness? Right? So that time one should think, Krishna gave me those 25 years of my age from 25 to 50 to fulfill those responsibilities. Right? After that, now time is asking me to fulfill some other responsibilities. So I cannot still feel obliged. Like that, one has to make a very rational decision, not an emotional decision. You're getting the point?
Yes.
Getting the point, right? That's it.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Then how would Yudhishthira not engage being a devotee? Yeah, because Yudhishthira could have also thought, no, that the gambling match is not good. It's a sinful activity. So that's why someone may think that why Yudhishthira agreed to accept the proposal. Should we see it as Krishna's arrangement to put Yudhishthira in that predicament? Yes, in one sense. Because of Yudhishthira, if Yudhishthira would not have fought the gambling match, Draupadi would not have been insulted. If Draupadi would not have been insulted, Krishna would not come into the scene to protect Draupadi. Any place, Prabhuji, where you feel that you're getting distracted in Krishna consciousness, should we immediately leave that place? I mean, yes. Not that you just run away from that place. But then you may find to come out of that place. Duryodhan and Arjuna both approached Krishna for help before the war began. Arjuna asked for Krishna to aid him. What did Duryodhana ask for? Duryodhana asked for Krishna's army. Narayani Sena. One Akshauhani. Narayani Sena. Okay. That's what he asked
Who
for.
were there in the Narayani Sena, Prabhuji? Who were the
Uh-huh.
warriors? Who were the warriors in the Narayani Sena?
I don't remember their names. You may find in Mahabharata. So Prabhupada has ended up the purport very well. He said, considering all the pros and cons. So that's the point. If there are obligations, still you should consider all the pros and cons and then make the decision, not just because I'm obliged. Consider the pros and cons. Very important. Is it right to listen to and meet saints outside of the four paramparas? No, we should not hear from outside the parampara. Example, Premanand Maharaj of Vrindavan. There are some Sripad conversations where he does not advocate that, but it's a trend nowadays amongst devotees to do so. Actually, it's not nice to discuss taking someone's name. But anyway, because you brought up the point. Premanand Maharaj is not out of the four paramparas in one sense, because they belong to Radha Vallabha Sampradaya. And Radha Vallabha Sampradaya may not be, yes, considered as one of the four main sampradayas, but Madhva, Sri, and all that. But it's an offshoot, a disconnected branch of Gaudiya Vaishnavism. So in that sense, there is, some semblance of Bhakti, Gaudiya Vaishnavism mood and understanding and teachings present in them, right? So that's one thing. Second thing, we should know one thing. In Vrindavan, there is a special class of Vaishnavas known as Rasika Bhaktas. Now, these Rasika Bhaktas need not be in any sampradaya. And at the same time, they are very exalted personalities. Why they are so? Somehow or other they get some special mercy of Srimati Radharani or Krishna. So they are known as Rasika Vaishnavas. They may not come in any sampradaya, nothing. So considering that fact, if we do see symptoms of a genuine saint in someone, even if that saint does not belong to some bona fide parampara, we should not insult or criticize that Vaishnava. Fine. At the same time, because that saint does not belong to your parampara, you don't really follow the teachings of that saint also. You stick to the teachings of your own acharyas. Fine. Now someone may say, but if someone is teaching some nice thing, good thing, what's wrong in hearing that person? There's nothing wrong in hearing from such a person. But that should not become your sadhana. Simple. It should not become my sadhana. Which means sometimes you're on YouTube or Facebook or Insta and scrolling, and you may come across a clip, and that clip is 5 minutes long, and you just heard that 5 minutes clip maybe once in a week. No harm. It's okay. You hear it, use your intelligence. Okay, he's saying this good thing. I'm going to apply this thing. And he's saying this is off the parampara. I'm not going to apply this thing. Right? That's okay. But then if one starts doing this again and again, then that's wrong. Fine. That's not the correct thing to do. Now, in context, many iskcon devotees are visiting these saints and attending the gatherings. No problem. That's just because sometimes we have to be part of the greater Vaishnava society. So that visit is more of a social visit, samajik roop se. Just like when Ayodhya temple got opened, saints from all the spiritual organizations were invited, right? Isn't it? Correct? ISKCON was also invited. So devotees went from ISKCON as representatives of ISKCON. Does it mean that we agree with the teachings of all the spiritual organizations? No. So there was a social event, a national social event, or even an international social event, and we had to participate. So we went. Similarly, there is a saint, very popular, very famous. Someone may go and meet him. That doesn't mean you start following him. What to speak of meeting a Vaishnava saint? Prabhupada used to meet Mayavadi sannyasis also. Isn't it? Yeah. Prabhupada used to meet Mayavadi sannyasis also. When he was sick in the hospital in New York, once Mayavadi sannyasi was visiting New York and he came to know about Prabhupada and he said, I would like to see this Swamiji. And Prabhupada said, okay, please come. And he came to the hospital to meet Prabhupada. So what do you think? Now Prabhupada should say, get out of my room, you are a Mayavadi sannyasi. No, right? He will not do that.
That is not Vaishnavism, no, sir,
That's
Prabhuji.
not Vaishnavism, correct. So when you are living in the society, you will have social dealings with others, right? Even though you agree with them or not agree with them. Correct? Right? But then you don't listen to their classes as sadhana. That's the point. Okay. Devotees in general are not educated. That's why they should attend Bhakti-sastri. Okay. Any other questions or comments?
Okay, I
Hare
have a
Krishna,
question. Can I
Prabhuji.
ask?
Okay. Those whose hands are up, is it for reading? If it's so, you please lower your hand. If you have a question, raise up your hand. No. Suman Prabhu.
So, where do these Agouris go? I mean, in which planet do they enter after they die?
I don't know. But not really a good place, wherever they go.
And Prabhuji, do they fall in the same category as a pure Vaishnava?
How come? Gauris are worshippers of Shiva, so how will they be Vaishnavas? Worshippers of Shiva are Shaivites, right? Worshippers of Vishnu are Vaishnavas. So Gauris are generally worshippers of Shiva. It's that also they're tamasic in their worship. So how can you say pure Vaishnavism and Gauri is like totally opposite to each other? Usha Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam. Prabhuji, basically our Vaishnav dhams are Vrindavan, Mayapur, and one more.
No. Vaishnava dhams, there are many. For Gaudiya Vaishnavas,
Yes, for
primary
Gaudiya
focus
Vaishnav.
is Mayapur, Vrindavan, and Jagannath.
Jagannath Puri. Now, suppose people are going to even this Ayodhya dham or temple. Can we go with them with a different mind, or we should not really make it a point to go?
We can go, no problem. There's no such harm in going to Ayodhya or Dwarka or like that. That's okay. Shuk Goswami says in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, in Vaidhi Bhakti, that we should visit holy places. So that at our level, it's okay. But when one goes to the advanced stage of Raga Bhakti, then one should stick to
these three dhams only. Okay. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Okay. At our level, we go to Dham because it gives us a chance to associate more with sadhus. That's why we go for Dham, for Yatra. So we go to any of these places. It's okay, no problem. Fine. Any other question? Goswamis are Vaishnavas like Radharaman and Bhakti Bihari. What is this question? Goswamis are Vaishnavas like Radharaman and Bhakti Bihari, etc. Goswamis of these temples are Vaishnavas, you're asking that? Yes, they are Vaishnavas. Radharaman, they are genuine in the sense they belong to the parampara we belong to. They are followers of Gopal Bhatt Goswami. And for Bhakti Bihari worshippers, yes, they are also Vaishnavas. Just give me a second. Huh? Okay, any other question? I will stop here.
Hare Krishna.
Hmm.
Prabhuji, in the previous question, Mataji mentioned three dhams. One is Vrindavan, Mayapur, and what is the third one she mentioned? I'm sorry, I missed that.
Jagannath Puri.
Jagannath Puri.
Okay, thank you so much.
Shamala Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, once advance in the spiritual, like Raganuga Bhakti, how they fall down, Prabhu. If Krishna says that he protects our conscience, once advance devotees, how they fall down, and and it says where we ended our spiritual journey, even for next life, we will start from there. But how they fall down, why they fall down, Prabhu? Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
I'm sorry, there was some disturbance and distraction. Yes, Shamala Mataji, please tell your question again.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Once advance in the devotion, the spiritual Raganga Bhakti, and they advanced in the devotion, how they fall down, why they fall down,
We'll
like
not discuss now that. We'll study that in Nectar of Devotion.
okay.
Yes. Sanatan Nithai Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Prabhuji, a couple of months back, I had actually asked you the difference between Jagannath Puri Dham and Pandharpur Dham. And you had said that you will discuss that in sometime later. If you can you just explain why Jagannath Puri Dham is considered as superior to Pandharpur Dham, Prabhuji? Hare Krishna.
These are very, very subtle topics because depending on Krishna's form, which manifests in which dham, that dham is considered either superior or not so superior. As such, all the holy dhams are same. So we cannot compare them from material platform, but from spiritual perspective. Then different dhams have different moods that prevail in them. So here superiority is not on the basis of mundane superiority, how you will see in material sense, not in that way. Here it's on the basis of a rasa, right? Just like there are 5 rasas, Sakhya, Dasya, Vatsalya, Madhurya. So when you say Madhurya is superior to Vatsalya, this is not some kind of mundane superiority. This is something on spiritual platform. If you evaluate, then Madhurya is superior to Vatsalya rasa, and which is superior to Sakhya rasa. Similarly, when you compare the holy dhams, there is no mundane inferiority or spiritual superiority, but on the basis of what form of Krishna has manifested there, what is the rasa of the devotees who are living there, that's how you decide. Okay. So the mood of Aishwarya is going to be in any dham. Compared to the dhams which are in the mood of Madhurya, those dhams will be considered less superior. And the dhams which will have more of Madhurya, that dhams will be considered superior. Fine. Now in Pandharpur, which form of Krishna is manifesting? Is it Vrindavan Krishna? No. Who is Pandarinath? Actually, it's Dwarka Krishna, right? Rukmani Pandarinath. Isn't it? Correct?
Correct.
So that mood is there. Aishwarya Bhav is there. Oh. Got it?
Got it. But Jagannath also was manifested when Krishna was hearing his pastimes from Rohini's mouth when he was in Dwarka, right?
Yes, Jagannath is a very special form of the Lord, and Jagannath Tattva is so difficult and different to understand. Jagannath is everything. In Jagannath Puri, you have Vrindavan also, in Jagannath Puri, you have Dwarka also. It's a dham which is a mixture of both the moods. Right? That's why Jagannath Puri, why Mahaprabhu decided to stay in Jagannath Puri. If it was Dwarka, Mahaprabhu would have never stayed there. Right?
Yeah.
So Mahaprabhu decided to stay in Jagannath Puri because Jagannath Puri is a very special dham where you have we have both Aishwarya and Vidya. You want to know more about this topic? Then you should read one of the books by Gaur Govind Maharaj. Then you understand.
Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Mathura meets Vrindavan.
Okay, okay.
Prabhuji, the people who take birth or just staying in Mathura is like equal to Vrindavan only because it is considered as one only, one Dhamma, Mathura and Vrindavan, both.
In one sense, yes. In another sense, no.
Because it's called as Madhopuri in Shastra, so like people who, I mean, I've heard that those who take birth or somewhere that they get the salvation, something like that.
Yeah, from that point of view, it's same.
So Bhava is different in Mathura and Vrindavan. Okay.
If you think of moksha, then moksha you can get in any dham. But we are not talking from just moksha perspective, right? Liberation. If it's about liberation, then any dham, holy dham, it's related to Lord Vishnu, you die, you get liberated. But then when it comes to practicing devotional service and then trying to attain certain bhav, then the different dhams will have different contributions. Okay. All right, I think.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, what is the name of the book you said if you want to know more about Jagannath Puri? Mathura makes Vrindavan
Mathura meets Vrindavan.
by God Govind Maharaj.
By
Okay.
God.
Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So we stop here. See you on next Sunday if my internet connection is proper. Right? Condition apply. So if my internet connection is proper, we see you on next Sunday and we complete the chapter 1 next Sunday. Fine. Also, one more thing. The seats for upcoming Madhurya Kadamini course are getting quickly filled in. So all of you who want to understand Nectar of Devotion nicely, those who have already studied it or those who are going to study, you please enroll for that course on Madhurya Kadamini because it will be a great support to understand Nectar of Devotion. Otherwise, it will be, I mean, not that difficult, but this book really helps to understand Nectar of Devotion very well. Fine. So it's going to start in April. And it's not a very long course. It's just 14 classes and no exams, only for understanding purpose. So you can enroll. You are not able to find that book. Search online. You may get Mathura Meets Vrindavan. You will find, I think. It will be
It's
available.
available in Amazon also. Just now check.
Available in Amazon, yes. Mathura Meets Vrindavan is available in Amazon. But you know, when you read that book, if you don't understand some certain things, then it's okay, no problem, huh? Because it's a lofty subject matter. Of course, Maharaj explains in a very lucid manner, but it's a lofty subject matter.
Can we get it online? Can we get it online?
Yes, you can.
I cannot have a hard copy, so which one you suggest?
Try searching on Amazon. You may get a Kindle version also, or you may get a PDF or whatever you may
Yeah, I
find.
tried, but there are various authors and various. Which
No,
one?
there is just one, Mathura Meets Vrindavan by Gaur Govind Swami Maharaj. Simple.
Okay. No, Prabhuji, I'm asking about Madhuri Kadamini. Which one?
Madhurya Kandan, don't worry, we will give you PDF for that book. What we will refer to. And I'll be making special presentations on that. So you don't need the book.
Okay, very good.
Hare Krishna. All right. Hare Krishna. See you. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Hare Krishna.